Okay, so should kids be taught about sexual education? Katie was your average 16-year-old teenager. She enjoyed going to school, playing soccer, and spending time with her family and her boyfriend. Katie was enjoying her sophomore year in high school until the unimaginable happened. Katie and her boyfriend Scott had been together for about 2 years, and they planned to get married. They both felt that they were ready to have sex, although neither of them knew the dangers of having unprotected sex and did not know anything about birth control. They learned all they knew about sex from television shows and what their friends had told them about it. One night, they decided to try it. 6 weeks had passed, and Katie noticed that she was not feeling well and that she had not gotten her period for a long time. Since Katie had no prior sexual education, she told her mother how she was feeling. Her mother, Emily, asked her if her and Scott had slept together. Katie told her mother the truth. Immediately, Emily knew what had happened and contacted Scott's parents and told them about the accident. Later that year, Katie dropped out of high school and gave birth to a baby boy. Scott dropped out of school as well and got a job to support his son and Katie. This one incident changed Katie and Scott's lives forever. Neither of them made it to their sex education class in junior year. Katie got pregnant during a time when most teenagers were thought to not have sex. Nonetheless, in 2013, 47% of high school students reported they have engaged in sexual intercourse, according to the CDC. Sex education is used to help people gain information, skills, and motivation to make healthy decisions about sex and sexuality. Sexual education is also used to explore values and beliefs about those topics and gain skills that are necessary to navigate relationships and manage your own sexual health. Many sexually experienced teens, 57% of them are females and 43% of them were males, do not receive formal instruction about contraception before they first have sex, and fewer received instruction about where to get birth control according to the Journal of Adolescent Health. If teens had proper education, the teen pregnancy rate would go down, and more teens would be aware of the negative effects of unprotected sex. Whether parents like it or not, their young adults will engage in sexual experience at least once in their lifetime. It is best if their child is aware of the effects of the act instead of going into the act without any prior knowledge. Sex can be a very uncomfortable topic for some people. This is part of the reason why some parents don't even breathe the word sex in front of their kids. Sex is a natural act that most people will engage in at least once in their lifetime, whether parents like to think about it or not. Sex education can take place in schools and community centers, but it is also most effective if a child learns about sex education in their own home. There are many different methods to teach kids about sex education, but the most effective way is comprehensive sexual education. Comprehensive sexual education refers to K-12 programs that cover an immense number of topics such as the following: relationships with families, friendships, romantic friendships, and dating; human development, which includes reproduction, sexual orientation, and puberty; personal skills such as communication and decision-making; sexual behaviors such as abstinence and sexuality throughout life; sexual health such as STDs, contraception, and pregnancy; society and culture, which includes diversity, gender roles, and sexuality in the media. The comprehensive sex education method is the most effective method for many reasons. It is heavily supported by medical organizations such as the American Medical Association. It is more effective than the abstinence-only method because there has been analysis done by the Advocates for Youth. In this analysis, they showed that over 80% of the curriculum contains false, misleading, or distorted information about reproductive health. Kids who talk about sex are more likely to delay sex, have fewer sexual partners, and use condoms and birth control when they do plan to have sex. The consequences of parents not talking about sex are far too great. According to a study done by the National Center for Health Statistics in 2015, a total of 229,715 babies were born to women aged 15 to 19 years old. There are many ways parents can make talking about sex life awkward. If a parent talks openly and honestly, answers their kids' questions, and takes advantage of the opportunities to help them make smart decisions in relationships, it can help in more ways than they may think. Sex education should not only be taught at home, but it is taught in schools to some degree. There are two different kinds of sexual education, and they are comprehensive sex education and abstinence only until marriage. In comprehensive sex education, teens learn about abstinence, how to avoid STDs, unintended pregnancy, and teaches about the use of condoms and contraception to reduce these cases. In the abstinence only until marriage program, it is exactly as it states. It instills the image that having sex outside of marriage will have harmful social, psychological, and physical consequences. This method is not effective because many teens will still engage in sexual activity even after learning about the abstinence-only program. Sexual education is important for every child to learn. It helps them become more in touch with their sexuality and help them to gain knowledge and skills for their future. It can promote a healthy relationship between a parent and a child by encouraging honesty in their relationship. If more teens were made aware of sexual education from an early age, it would help decrease our teen pregnancy rate. The only way for us to have much fewer cases of uneducated teens having sex and teen pregnancy is for us to educate children about sex.